Hi guys, I thought today I would do another video for you and show you one of my favourite looks, which is a really nice, really light summery look. It's perfect for this season. First of all, I just want to say really sorry about my voice. I'm kind of losing it. It always seems to be summer when a cold creeps up on you, which is awful. But hopefully you'll bear with and carry on looking through this video. Hopefully you all know me and you've come from my blog, Fun Fashion and Things. If you haven't, check it out. It's going to be in the down bar below, and I'll put a link to everything, my Twitter and everything, if you want to follow me. That would be lovely. So for now, I think I'll just show you how to do one of my amazing favourite looks. I always like to start with using a really good moisturiser as a kind of base before I put any makeup on, and I like to use the Origins Ginseng. It's infused with things like caffeine, and I think I've shown it in my previous video for you guys, and it's one of my absolute favourites. I love it to death. So always start with the moisturiser, really mash it into your skin, every little bit, because this is going to act as a really good hydrating base throughout the day. So you want to make sure your skin isn't going to dry out underneath your makeup. Now, once you've done all of your hydration and the rest of your skincare routine, if you want to do anything else to it, I would tend to start with something like the Puff Off from Benefit underneath my eyes to really get rid of any sort of dark circles or sunken areas around your eyes. As I've previously mentioned, if you've seen my blog before, I do have a little boy, which means I don't sleep a lot, so this is a complete lifesaver for me every single day. And I love the little iron-on tip, which helps to cool the area under your eyes as well. So I start with just placing this one gently underneath your eyes, rubbing it into the skin. You can use the tips of your fingers to help massage it in as well. And the pinky tones, so it just helps to balance out the shadows. You can already see the difference between the two. Do that on both sides. And again, massaging it really into the under eyes. Getting it right into all those little crevices, because again, that's going to help as a base. Now I'll wait for a minute for that one to dry. And once that one's dried, I'm going to use my concealer. I only really tend to conceal around my eyes. I don't tend to do any other areas of my face because I'm usually blessed with fairly good skin. Occasionally I have a few breakouts, but I know that you'll usually have different concealers on hand for that one. I use another one of Benefit's products, which is the Fake Up for underneath my eyes. It has a really nice hydration ring around it. If you want to find out more about these products, then go onto my blog, and I've done a really cool Benefit makeup review of all the different Benefit products that I use. And this one I use just underneath my eyes and on the lids. Bring it down slightly onto the tops of your cheeks, because then that will really help to even out that skin tone. And again onto the other side. Now you can already see the difference between how my eyes were when we started. They look a lot brighter, a lot fresher. And because of that hydration ring in the Fake Out, they're really going to stay nicely hydrated throughout the day. Now, normally at this point, I would use something like my Hello Flawless Benefit Foundation, which is a really nice liquid foundation that sets nicely on your skin. Or I tend to use a No. 7 foundation, which is a little more mattifying. But for this sort of look, which is really bright and summery, you don't want to wear too much makeup because you don't want to be sweating it off and having it all leaking down your face and things throughout the day. So instead, I've had a little sample through, which I actually quite like, of a Benefit. It's the Big Easy. It's almost like a tinted moisturiser or a BB cream. So this one I really like. You can get it in the different tones. This one is 01 because I'm very pale skinned. You can see it on the camera. Very light. You only need a small amount of this one because it will go forever. This one I'm just going to place on the forehead. This one I wouldn't tend to use any brushes with, simply because it is the consistency of a moisturiser, a tinted moisturiser. So you don't need to really pile it on. And again, around the eyes, onto the cheeks. Just helps to not really cover any flaws or anything, but to give you a nice even base to start your makeup on. I'm really sorry, my voice is really bugging me today, so I hope it's not annoying any of you guys. If it is, feel free to listen to me with the sound off. And all the way around, underneath your chin, onto your nose, wherever you want to just have a little bit of extra coverage. You can see it doesn't do too much, but it does cover you up a little bit and even you out. And it is very, very nicely moisturising as well. And it does have, I think it's SPF 35. This one here, normally you get it in a bigger one, but this is just my little sample for me to try. Now, once I've done that one, I would normally going on to using my Barry M Chisel Cheeks Flawless Contour. I like this one because I find it has 3 different tones. One is a very light tone for setting underneath your eyes and things. Be aware if you do get this one, it's not very shimmery, so it's not to be used as a highlighter. The middle one is more of a bronzing tone, and that's one of the main ones we're going to stick to for today. But you can also use the contouring shade at the end, which can also help with your chiseling your cheeks, hence the name. So I'm going to take a little bit of that contouring one now and just put it right up underneath my cheekbones, just by my ears. So it's not going to be very, very prominent today. Hopefully you can see this on the camera. It's just extremely subtle, just to give you that little bit of extra definition. And same on the other side. Right at the top, so you're not bringing it all the way down to your face like you normally would. Again, we just want it super, super subtle, just to help give you a little more defined look. Now I'm going to move on to using a little bit of my bronzer. I'm going to put that just underneath where I would normally put my blusher. So my blusher would go on the apples of my cheeks. I'm going to put my bronzer here, just to again help define this look ever so slightly. Now I love this Barry M Chisel Cheeks contouring kit because the colours are in a powder form, which means they can go on very, very subtly, or you can keep building up for a more defined look, which is what I'm doing now. I'm just adding more and more on if I want a little bit more of my look. I'm also going to put a little bit of this bronzer just across my forehead, again helping to contour slightly, but also adding a slight sun-kissed glow. So for those of you who are sadly blessed with very, very pale skin like me, this will really help to give you a slightly more defined look for the summer. Make sure that one is really nicely blended in. So at the moment you've got a really nice subtle look. After that one I'd move on just to a really slight blusher. Now this one, you can tell I have used it a lot. This is the number 7 Natural Blush Tint Powder in Honey. When I went to get this one checked out in number 7, I would recommend actually getting all the tests and things done with the consultants. They actually recommended me 2 different shades. This one is a slightly darker shade, which I actually prefer to use because of my skin tone and things. This is more like my daily one. You can also use a slightly brighter one, which is a lot more pinky tones to it, which I think would be better for the winter when you're trying to brighten up your look slightly. So this one's just going to go onto the apples of my cheeks. And again on the other side. Bring it up slightly onto your cheekbones. So you can already see I'm getting a slightly more even, slightly more bronze skin tone, which again is still very, very subtle. Here's my favourite part. Moving on to highlighting. I have so many different highlighters to use for different things, whether it's under eyes, whether it's contouring. This is one I use a lot now that it's summertime because I love the bronze sort of shade to it and all the lots of the shimmer in it as well. It's the WhatsApp from Benefit. The best thing about this one is it's a creamy sort of stick. So it will go on really, really easily and you can blend it just using your fingertips if you want to. It does have a blending brush on the back, which you can use if you want slightly more definition, but I tend to just use my fingertips. If you're like me and you don't invest a lot into brushes. This one I'm going to place just slightly, dotting it just over the top of my cheekbones, going up slightly onto my temples and down my nose, a little bit on my chin and onto my forehead, just in the middle of my forehead, because I'm going to blend it out to where I've done that bronzer. So you can see where I've got it now. And then just going to use my fingertips to blend it in. Like I said, you can, if I show you, use the brush tip to it and blend it in that way. And that gives you a slightly more defined look. I'm not sure if you can see at the moment, but it has got a lot of shimmer in it, which I absolutely adore. Blending the other side. Again, I tend to blend it outwards and upwards, just because I find that helps a little bit with definition if you're into strobing, but also because that's where the light will naturally tend to hit your face. And then I'm going to use my fingertips just to blend it into my forehead and up the bridge of my nose slightly. So that's again going to give you a really nice defined look for the summer. Now, I'm going to move straight onto my eyebrows. I use the Benefit Browsing. I really like this one because I find it can give me a really sort of nice defined look without being too overpowering, because if you look inside, you haven't seen this one before, you can pick the powder and the wax tint to go with it and mix them together and use them wherever you would want along your eyebrows. I tend to get mine done very, very regularly, and that is a piece of advice I would say, is do not touch your own eyebrows. Get someone to do them for you, especially at places like Benefit or spas and things like that, because they do know what they're doing. I'm not a makeup consultant, I'm not a brow technician. I absolutely hate looking back at pictures of myself where I've tried to do my own eyebrows because they look awful. So now I always get them done, and this was one product that was recommended to me by Benefit, and it's one that I can't leave the house without, just in case I need touch-ups now. If you want a slightly more defined look for the evening, I would definitely recommend going along and having a look at all their different brow products. And they've got some really nice products like a brow mascaras and things like that. But definitely shop around and see what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you, because I've had to shop around for loads and loads of different places. Also, really sorry if you can see lots of gauze. I've got a nice little veil behind the camera at the moment, but I apologise if it's coming in front. So you can see I'm not being very heavy, I'm not doing too many sharp lines, I'm just adding a little more definition and darkening them ever so slightly. I'm lucky to have been blessed with very thick, very dark brows, so I'm very lucky that I don't need a lot of product. Again, I'm just bringing it ever so slightly, just adding a little more definition to my brows. Now the best thing about this kit is it does come with 2 different brushes, and it also comes with, just checking everything's gorgeous on there. Good. And it also comes with a little pair of tweezers, so I always take this one with me in my bag. I bring it on the go, and it means if you need a touch up anywhere, you can do it. If you need to quickly tweeze out a little stray hair that you've noticed, absolutely fine. So at the moment, what you can see is we've got our highlighter, we've got slight contour and bronzing just as our base, and we've got our eyebrows all done. Now, I mainly focus on using colours on my eyes for the summer, lots and lots of bronzy goldy shades, which is why the world famous Neutrals from Benefit is absolutely perfect for it. I'm going to pair this with the Avon 8-in-1 eye palette in Not So Neutral, just because they've both got lots of really nice pale goldy tones that I can use. What I'm going to use as a base on my eyes first is I'm going to use the Birthday Suit from the Benefit kit. This one has a really gorgeous sort of dark goldy tone to it. I'm going to get a slightly bigger eyebrow, slightly bigger eyeshadow pencil, eyeshadow brush, I can't talk today, and I'm just going to put that one all the way over my lids. Now this one is so gorgeous because it's very, very shimmery, and it's such a creamy shade that you don't tend to need to use eyeshadow primer with it, because this one will actually help to keep the powder eyeshadow staying on. I'm going to do that one on both of my eyelids. So now that's my base done. Absolutely adore this shade for the summer. What I'm going to put over the top of this one is, inside my Benefit kit again, I'm going to look at using the It's Complicated shade. It's a really nice pink tone. I'm going to use that to highlight the middle of my eyelid, to just draw a little more attention to it. Now I have to say the powders are not as pigmented as the creams within this kit, so you might need to load a little more onto your brush. I'm literally putting that straight down the middle of my eyelid. And the same on the other eye. that's drawn the attention down to the middle now. And then I'm going to switch over to using a slightly smaller eyeshadow brush and now my Avon kit. I'm going to choose this lovely dark goldy tone, just as almost a little contouring in my eyes. So I'm going to put this one right on the outside of my eyelids and blend it in. The trick for all of these sort of looks is to blend, blend, blend and blend again. And that just adds a little more definition. Bring it up into your crease. Again, we're not going too dark because this is more of a daytime look. You do want it very nicely defined up into your crease and in the corner, outer corner, blending it in. Now you can see it's lovely and defined for my eyes. Now the last thing I'm going to do for the lids of my eyes is I'm going to use this one, which I'm actually about to do a review on this week. It's from Lush, it's called Fantasy. It's part of their new Emotional Brilliance range. This one is an eyeliner. I'll show you. Got a very nice small brush to it. And this one I adore because I can use it as a liner on my eyes. Just a little bit to add a little more shimmer, a little more gold tone. But what I also use it for is I dab a little bit on the corners, right just outside where I've done my eyeshadow, and then I use my fingertips to blend it. And what this does is, instead of creating a very highly pigmented look just outside of my eyes, it actually just adds a very subtle shimmer, which you're only really going to see in the sunlight, but because we're doing this for a summery look, this just adds like an extra level to it, I find. Now finally I'm going to put on my Benefit. You can see a theme here. I'm really loving Benefit at the moment, like my go-to place for makeup. And I'm going to use their Real. I'm going to use this in black. I have picked up the blue from their new range and I've got to say it's a gorgeous colour. That one I prefer to use for very bright bold looks. This one is kind of my everyday look. And I'm going to put that on both the top lashes and on the bottom lashes. Now remember, when we're doing mascara, you don't put it straight up, you have to kind of almost scissor it up your eyelashes. So it really, really separates them and helps create that bolder look. Again, because it's a daytime look, I'm only going to do one layer. Normally I would do 2 layers, wait for one to dry and do another on top. But I don't want it as defined today. I want the eyeshadow to kind of take precedence. There we go, and then I'm just going to finish my look off with a really nice, almost shimmery, pinky type nude lip gloss. For this sort of look, because I've gone for lots on my eyes, I'm going to go for a nude lip, but I do still want a little bit of shimmer. For this one, I'm not placing it all the way over, I'm just going to place it in the middle, almost on the inside of my bottom lip, and then blend it outwards, and again on the top lip. So it just adds a little bit of extra sparkle to the look. And there we have it. A nice fresh summery look, filled with golds and neutrals. I love this sort of goldy neutral palette. If you want to, you can use something like a makeup setting spray on top to help make sure it stays. Because you haven't got a lot of foundation and things on, you shouldn't need to use this one. I would use Urban Decay's makeup setting spray. But like I said, I'm not going to put that on today because it is such a light look. It feels like you don't have a lot on your face, so it's not going to melt off in the heat or anything.